was able to think differently when things come up and look at situations differently, and maybe a lot of just more discernment, better discernment.
I like it. You are getting there. And the next question, simple question. Did you do the practice every day in the morning?
No, I didn't.
So it means even though the discernment is working, but it will not erase completely those garbage already stored in the mind if you don't do the practice.
I know. It's that morning. It's the morning. I know. I need to. Yeah, I don't know how to. I don't know how to.
You have
just say I'm.
You have a simple thought that I cannot do in the morning. And if you have a thought of discernment that I will definitely do in the morning, it is done.
Yeah, you're right. So I guess I'm not discerning that thought.
You are not discerning that.
Okay.
You got it. I appreciate you. This is the way the discernment works.
So I'm allowing the mind to take over me when I do that.
You see that. You got it. You allow the mind to take over your intellect. And then there is a intellectual paralysis. When there is a intellectual paralysis, then your intellect orders the mind, don't do it. You are busy. No, you have a lot of things to do. You got it.
Yeah. Why does the mind always want to take the easy way?
No,
like it never wants to do anything hard.
No. Don't say it is an easy way. It is going into the ignorance because it has an imagined pleasure. Come on. No, it's not an easy way. The mind has imagined if I don't do it, I am better placed.
No, but the mind will be like for instance at nighttime, sometimes I'll have the thought okay, I'm going to go meditate. And then the mind will be like, well, no, you can just do it tomorrow. Just go watch TV. The mind always wants to talk me out of doing these things.
You already answered my question. The mind is looking for an imagined pleasure in watching TV instead of doing the meditation. So the mind has made its habit. It is impulsive. It is the instinctive nature where it is looking for an imagined pleasure, seeking an imagined pleasure in watching TV. There is no pleasure in TV. So from where it comes? From the storehouse of impressions, which we normally say the vasanas. The vasana, the word vasanas cannot be translated perfectly into English. But you can say it is unmanifest desires, it is unmanifest craving, it is unmanifest obsession, it is unmanifest negative conditioning of the mind. So lot of things. So they trigger your mind, then the mind creates a thought of an imagined pleasure. That imagined pleasure creates a thought. That thought is a desire, and that desire says you let us watch TV, let us do meditation tomorrow. So you miss the discernment, and when you miss the discernment, you fall into ignorance. When you fall into ignorance, the tomorrow never comes. So when you discern you say to the mind, okay, let me watch TV tomorrow, let me practice meditation today. You see that? And that changes the entire dynamics of the mind.
Okay.
Yes, I appreciate the 2 times. I appreciate the first time you are discerning, and second time you said it is a lack of discernment over the thought in the morning, which pulls my mind to continue to live into the state feeling that I cannot do in the morning. Beautiful. That's a good thing. That's a sign, definitely is a sign of progress. Come what may, my friend, come what may, for the last almost how many years? It has been almost 20 years now in the United States. 2 hours, 2.5 hours. I'm totally absorbed from either 3:30 to 6:30 or 7 or 4 to 6:30. Everyone knows no one is going to disturb. I have to live into that state. Mind complains, no, you have too much of discomfort today in the body, don't do it. And then I discern again, let me do it so to get out of the discomfort. I don't do the practice. If there's a discomfort, I said, okay, mind, what else? What do you have to say? Are you ready? No, I have a discomfort. Okay, let me do it so I will get out of the discomfort. So I continue until the mind clears my way of entering into the practice. And that helps you, that brings a change in your attitude and behavior. You need to take a conscious step in the morning. You are not taking a conscious step in the morning. So you see that in a waking state, our past impression are ready to manifest because the memory, the mind, the intellect, and the ego all are active in the waking state. In the dream state, all the four are active. We are not conscious, so we create a dream. In the sleep state is equal to, similar to all the people, including the animals. All the animals have the same deep sleep. I have the same deep sleep. You have the same deep sleep. So when we are sleeping in a deep sleep state, you don't know whether you are sleeping in your house or I don't know. So in the deep sleep state, all ego, intellect, mind, and the memory are kept in abeyance. They are present. But they are kept in abeyance as long as we have the sleep state. So what is the conclusion? That we all have the problems in the waking state only.
Yeah.
Even if we have a dream state, we come out of the dream state, that dream tiger goes away, the dream pain goes away. So my master used to say the entire journey of the impure states of the mind begins with the foolishness. Foolishness means that I don't examine my life. I'm living my life unexamined. You wake up in the morning and your mind says you are too much tired to do anything. Unexamined life. Come on, tell me. So when you put your mind through the intellect on the path of the discernment, what do you mean? You have already slept on hours. Why you say that you are still fatigued? You are still tired. Come on, do it. Do the practice. So you communicate with yourself. So unexamined life now becomes the examined. So if you have unexamined life, it triggers the mind from the past impression of likes and dislikes. I will do this, I will not do this. And then the mind goes with an attachment to what it likes. It says, I will not do it. So it is attached to not doing it. So it wants to continue the same conditioned state of the mind. It results into emotional dependence, results into intellectual paralysis. And then the ego says, no, I will not do it. Let me watch TV. Let me take a cup of tea instead of doing it. But problem is that the entire process of unexamined life, of likes and dislikes, of attachment, of the thought process, of building the ego, of intellectual paralysis, takes only a fraction of a millisecond deep inside you, of which you are not aware. The discernment makes you aware.
The discernment makes me aware?
Yeah, makes you aware that what's going on in the mind. Why the hell, mind, you are postponing? You are tired. You have seen that the practice brings the freshness. Why don't you understand? So the intellect is paralyzed. It cannot think in this way. And you know it 100%. Whenever you have done the practice, you feel better.
So your master used to say the unexamined life is a foolish life?
It's a foolishness. Yes, it's a
so
foolishness.
Like how am I supposed to be examining my life 24/7?
Just you are aware.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, are you not aware while walking? There is a stone in front of you. It is an examined life, so now you don't hit the stone.
Mm-hmm.
You are sitting on the chair facing me. You don't face opposite to me. It is an examined life. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Don't make it complex. Your mind wants to make it so complex. So I have to examine my life 24/7. We are.
Well then what then how do we I thought you said sometimes we're not examining it, and that's unexamined life.
Yes. So unexamined life means that I live by habit, I live by impulses, I live by instinct, I live by the past habit, I live by the past impulses, and
so essentially I live like an animal.
Obviously, I live like an animal. So unexamined life is living like an animal. So problem is that you live unexamined life. In one situation, it is going to aggravate, it is going to build up its foundation of an animal life 24/7. And that is why majority of the people, they treat the path, they continue the journey, and they fail in the middle, and then they leave it because the past impressions, they hijack their mind and they put them again into the same state.
So most people, we kind of do live like animals. Just we very reactive. We're habitual. We're all over the place. That's weird.
That's weird. You cannot put into your calendar that I'm going to be angry tomorrow at 10 a.m. My mood will swing tomorrow at 11 a.m.
Yeah.
You cannot do that. So it means that animal mind, that pressure is there, and that takes over you. And that is why you get angry. You don't plan to be angry. You don't plan to be agitated. You don't plan to have a mood swing. You don't plan to be tired.
No.
You don't plan. So when you don't plan and still you are tired, you don't plan, still you are angry. You don't plan, you are to be agitated. It is the animal mind.
That's funny. Today I was driving and I felt myself for no really reason, like super impatient, super agitated, just really wanted to get where I was going. And I stopped and I was like, I somehow I rose above it. I can't really explain what happened, but I kind of almost watched that. I stepped away from that feeling and just allowed myself to not be that. And it was pretty cool. I felt like that was some good discernment because I wasn't engrossed in the feeling and allowing that to take over. I was able to step away.
That stepping away is the power of the discernment. And second statement, you rightly said that I did not allow my mind to be engrossed in that activity. To be engrossed in that activity, to allow the mind to follow that pattern is what the unexamined life. You rightly understood that. I like that discussion. Yes, that is wonderful. I'm so happy today. So what happens, then what happens if I live in an unexamined life? Then I have an angry mind, then I have an agitated mind, I have a sheep mind, I have strong likes and dislikes mind, I have money mind, and there is a long list of the impure states of the mind. So any state, any impure states of the mind will take over you, and then it will offer you 10 reasons not to go back to the discerning mind.
Yeah.
It gives you 10 reasons. And those 10 reasons are being repeated in different situations also, different relationship also, and ultimately I develop an attitude of anxiousness or hesitation or reaction or fear, etc., 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 etc. It's a long list.
Yeah.
So you are right. Discerning mind. Now you see that you are right. You have to understand and apply it. But sometime, because we have accumulated millions and trillions of the past impressions, and they will continue to rebound back. For that, I need to do the practice to clean it.
Mm.
I have to have an endurance. No, I will do it. Come what may, I will do the practice. Anyhow, no, just in the middle, I'm saying next week we will meet on Tuesday at the same time. I'm driving to California to meet my son.
Okay.
And so I will just send you that invitation. So remember this. So you see that mind is like a garden. And imagine thought of pleasure or a pain is like a seed. Imagine thought of a pain, I have fear, certain anxiety, or imagine thought of a pleasure, watching TV. So garden is there. Imagine thought is like a seed that grows into the plants of imagined realities.
Sometimes it's hard. Like, for instance, my dog has surgery tomorrow, and it's really hard to not have thoughts of like, well, how is the surgery going to go? Is she going to do okay under anesthesia? Is she help? All these.
Apply discernment. You are lacking discernment there.
How would I? Okay, so like that's a good question because I'm struggling with that. Like, how do I discern those thoughts of being worried? How do I discern that?
How the dog will accept anesthesia. Tell your mind, my mind, only the dog knows. She has to go to it. Simple. Is there any way that I can enter into the dog and understand what it feels like? No way. Mind, don't try to emotionalize that situation. Just go there, see what happens, accept the outcome. Finished.
How do I? Okay. How do I accept I'm like, well, maybe she doesn't. I'm worried. Maybe she doesn't need surgery. I've been struggling. Well, maybe she does. Because I'm so worried, and I'm like, sometimes I struggle with that. Especially with this situation.
Who can choose who can make the best decision about the surgery?
Me.
No, the doctor.
Oh, yeah, sorry, her doctor.
So that me is your unexamined life.
No, yeah, her doctor said she needs the surgery and
Finished.
She's okay to do it.
Okay, so you choose, you have the resources and let her go to the surgery. You have discerned it. So she is going to the surgery. You accept that. So you deleted the attachment portion from the dog. Let her go to the surgery and let us see. So mind why you are thinking like a crazy guy that what will happen if she undertakes anesthesia. It is the dog knows. I have no other way to know it.
Mm-hmm.
And why the mind you are thinking when you have chosen to go for the surgery? Maintain the calmness.
Okay.
So you have erased the idea of imagined reality from the surgery of a dog that you are undergoing.
Yeah.
And it is the discerning principle, discernment, you have applied it and you are happy. You are calm. So you accept, then you have chosen to help her to go for surgery because of the doctor says, and what should be the outcome, you should be ready to accept. Don't project that outcome. If you are projecting that outcome, your mind is still playing with the imagined pleasure or pain. Whether I would be alive or not tomorrow.
Can I ask you something else that's been happening? This is super weird.
Yeah.
Okay, like you're gonna laugh. For whatever, okay, so like I am getting lately, this is so weird. So I'm a straight man, right? I like females. Sometimes men will hit on me. This is very strange. And I go to the gym and we have a sauna, like a sauna where you sit in a hot room and sweat. So I usually go in there a lot. And like yesterday, I had this encounter with this guy, and I was trying to discern. So he's sitting there and he's just kind of staring at me, and I could tell. And I'm trying to meditate, and then my mind starts to go, and he's just kind of like looking and then staring, and so my mind just goes to all of these places. And then afterwards, he like waited for me to get out, and then he asked me like what brand my swimsuit was, something stupid. But my mind, I could not for the life of me be comfortable in that situation. And I was thinking about you and thinking about our work, and I knew what my mind was doing, but I was so uncomfortable by that person that I did not know I don't know how to rise above that.
Because you thought I'm a straight person, then you thought that the guy is staring, then you mix these two thoughts together, and your mind concluded that now here is the problem. And then the third incident took place, maybe by chance or maybe intentionally. That guy received you when you were leaving. So the third incident also added strength to your imagined reality. And then you said, I'm totally uncomfortable. Then all these 3 and 4 thoughts plus a situation made you believe that this guy is crazy and this guy made me comfortable. But problem is that you made yourself comfortable. Oh, you are staring. Thank you very much. Keep on staring. I'm a handsome guy. So now you see that how easy it is.
But why, let me ask you this, why is it imagined reality? If he's actually staring, isn't that a truth? Why is that imagined?
No, that is our topic today. I told you that we have vasanas. The vasana I cannot really translate into right English. It means unmanifest desire. It means unmanifest craving. It means unmanifest obsession. It means those comes from the past life and today's life. They are waiting. They are unmanifest. We don't know. We don't know until they are projected as imagined pleasure or imagined pain by a particular thought. So maybe some impression, it has nothing to do with the straight or a gay, but that is distorted and created an imagined reality of that person staring at you. Oh, please stare at me. I'm a smart guy. Come on. so simple. And if the guy is staring at you, he is stupid because you are focused on your activity. So instead of focused on your activity, your mind started cooking a story.
Yeah.
And it is because of the past impression, the unmanifest desires, unmanifest craving. Who knows, you have an unmanifest craving for a straight relationship, so that sexuality may be presented as a distorted reality.
Okay.
The guy may be staring because he may be envy of your physical figure, physical features. But you took it as if, now you see it is as if means that you have taken it as an imagined projected reality.
No, of course, but I don't want to make people angry or yeah.
So where comes the problem? You are saying in your mind that guy is staring at me. Thank you. Keep on staring at me because I'm a smart guy.
I guess the problem is I don't know. I had this rush of emotions of feeling very uncomfortable, and I didn't know how to deal with those emotions. They came, and I know that it's projection, and
it's a projection.
Yeah.
Yes, you are understanding. It's a projection.
Yeah.
It's a projection, and once it is a projection, and I told you that once you have a projected reality, and that projected reality, you have a regular thought stream, and that thought stream causes the attachment or detachment, and that attachment or detachment results into a desire, and that desire manifested into your mind. Oh, he doesn't seem to be a state. I don't know from where this thought has come to your mind.
I don't know either.
And it has come definitely from the vasanas. And now you feel uncomfortable. And that uncomfortable feeling is mind is dictating over the intellect. It has lost the power of discernment. And when it has lost the power of discernment, obviously the anxiety and comfort feeling is always there in your head. I told you that, I went to Coles last year. I could see her at the cashier, at the counter, she's bubbling with, oh, I'm always happy. So then she was just doing the cashing to my clothes. And I say, are you always happy? Yes, I'm always happy. Are you happy at home? And then her expression became totally sad. Now I don't want to talk about it. So I said, if you are happy at home, then only you can be happy all the time, everywhere. Because those who are very close and near and dear to you, there you learn how to be happy. So I keep on passing these remarks, even if people doesn't need it. So my interaction with the world outside is based on the power of discernment. It is not based on what others perceive and look at me, what others think of me. Let them think about that I'm a crazy guy. Yes, I'm crazy. So that is a very subtler ego idea. The idea of the ego is taking a shape in me. Oh, that guy is staring at me. So one can think of the way you have thought it. The other can think of, okay, another pointer, another thought, another idea. So people have a lot of, especially the girls and the women, they always think that now they have spent 2 hours before the mirror, everyone will look at them. They go with that idea. They dress in a way that everyone should look at them. So one person look at her, what a crazy girl. Others will say, no, she looks good. Third, what I have to do with her. So everyone's thought process is different. But because I project the reality, that is why I spend 2 hours before the mirror. Everyone, barring any, you cannot have an exceptions. If you have an exception, then obviously you are evolved women. You are an evolved girl. So don't say that you don't know it is because of the You see, the mind is like a projector constantly playing imagined realities on the screen of one's consciousness. Consciousness. So this projected thought we say sankalpa and vikalpa.
Sankalpa?
Yeah, we say sankalpa and the vikalpa. So first we say vasana and the vasana, and then comes the sankalpa and the vikalpa. So sankalpa is like a mirage in the desert. I can give another metaphor. It's like a movie projector. So it's like a mirage in the desert. So I see the water in the water. Oh, imagine reality. So this is also an imagined reality because you thought that guy is staring at me, so I am a straight guy, and why he is staring at me? I'm he is letting me down. No, no one is letting you down because it is your thought process. It is your thought process. He did not say you anything. He's just looking at you.
I know, yeah. No, you're right.
No, but he is looking because of this. That is a mirage.
He's looking because of the mirage?
Let him look at, Let him look. Who cares? So that is a mirage in the desert promising an oasis of happiness. So it is promising an oasis of pain here. No, I'm straight, how he can look at me. If he stops looking at me, then I will realize that he does not have that intention. So again, we distort the imagined realities again and again and again. We reach to a point of threshold limit, and there we are uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But fact is that nothing happened. Nothing happened. That guy has also gone. That event has also gone. Do you see that? The same thing applies to you. Wake up in the morning, you feel tired. That is also mirage in the desert. You have to treat this with the power of discernment. Do come what may, mind. I know what you are thinking. I have to do the practice. I will do the practice. Let me treat you, mind, first with the power of discernment. What are the 10 harmful effects of doing the practice? Tell me, mind. There is no harmful effect of it. So why don't you do it? I will do it tomorrow. No, why don't you do it today? Where is the problem? And ultimately you help the mind to get defeated and you start the practice. The term that is used in Eastern wisdom, the word is used as a tapa. Tapa. Literal meaning is austerity, penance. So you make the mind completely helpless to go after the practice. First by intellectually thinking. This is again comes under the power of discernment. But if you don't do it, if you postpone it, postponing is your mind is winning. And why the mind is winning? The mind wants to keep you in ignorance all the time. Why it wants to keep you in ignorance all the time? Because you will continue to suffer. So we are responsible for our suffering and we are responsible for our happiness. That is how our masters conclude that we are only responsible for our peace, happiness. We are only responsible for our suffering. So now this sankalpa can manifest. It is a mental tendency. Now you see, understand that definition if you want to understand. It is a tendency of the mind to create an imagined or a projected reality based on my desire which I am not aware, based on my fear, which I am not aware. It is at the unmanifest level and conditioning. So that sankalpa originates from my past experiences, psychological tendencies, emotional responses, repetition, and a lack of self awareness, which is foolishness. Which is foolishness. So, sankalpa can manifest in a positive way or can manifest in a negative. It can create a positive imagined reality. It can manifest as a negative imagined reality. So this situation which you explained, it appears to you because you are a straight guy. So it manifested as a negative imagined reality. And in earlier case, where you gave 200% to a girl, it was a positive reality. Now you compare the two, both are coming from the sankalpa. Understand this? Oh my goodness, this mind is so crazy. It creates an imagined reality of happiness, it creates an imagined reality of a pain or a fear. But both are coming from that past impressions. Now, anyhow, I lack the discernment at that moment. Then what happens? I am attached to these images in reality. Because I lack the power of discernment, so I'm attached. So when I'm attached, it causes the desire. So when it causes the desire, it results into emotional dependence and building my ego. My ego says, this is what is happening. I feel so uncomfortable. Create an imagined reality instead of a man that women was staring at you. That is then it is a projected pleasure.
Yeah.
Then your mind always like to talk to that girl intentionally.
But either way, it's ignorance.
Either way, it is a imagined reality.
Yeah.
And either way, it is an imagined reality. My goodness, see that how mind plays with us. That is why in the Upanishad, one Upanishad says, Manaiva Manushyanam Karanam Bandhamokshayo Bandhai Vishaya Saktam Nirvishaya Muktai Smratam. Mind is the cause of the bondage. Mind is the cause of the freedom. You went to the gym to do some physical practices, and it created a bondage by that particular event.
Yeah.
You see that? So this mind is so crazy in foolishness and lack of self-awareness, it creates hundreds of imagined realities every day, many of which we do not notice. And ultimately it goes into my storehouse, the warehouse, the fixed deposit, and they are ready to be triggered again by the sankalpa the next day. That is how I live my life. That is, Master says, Mane Manushyana, mind is the cause of the bondage and mind is the cause of the freedom. Bandhai Vishaya Saktam, mind is attached. Bandhai Vishaya Saktam, when the mind is attached with an object, with an imagined reality, object means a person, a situation, or a condition, or a relationship. Mind is attached with that object or a situation or a condition or a person with reference to the imagined reality, that is causing you the bondage, that is causing you the suffering. And you are detached, that is causing you the freedom. That is instantly because you applied the power of discernment and you are happy there and now. So sankalpa is known to a wise person, to a seeker, The sankalpa is not known to a foolish person. He takes that sankalpa as a reality. Wise person here means the seeker. I am a seeker. I want to understand. I have understood it. I have realized it, and I will maintain my awareness throughout the day that my mind should not fall into this imagined reality. I am a seeker. I'm a foolish guy. I'm getting carried away. Oh, let us go and have beer. Let us go and watch movie. Let us let us lie down and keep watching the horror film. And then I have a dream and fear, etc. Who cares that? I have extreme tiredness and fatigueness in the morning. Let me take some dose of, energy drink and etc. Now I'm ready to work. All the crazy stuff. People are doing it. Let them do it. Let the society do it. I should not do it. That's why I'm a seeker. The society cannot be the seeker. Society lives on unconsciousness. An individual person who wants to be a seeker lives consciously. I've been living here in the same society, same American society. I'm living in America. What difference it makes? I offer the drink, but I don't drink. Yes, you can take it. So sankalpa creates an attachment to the imagined reality. Opposite of sankalpa is the vikalpa. Vikalpa creates an aversion to the imagined reality where I suspect and fear of the pain. In both the cases, I want to get away with the pain. I want to get away with this guy whom I projected is not straight. I want to come closer to the guy or to the girl whom I felt the pleasure. Both are sankalpa. Ask yourself, who is affected by the sankalpa? All individuals who don't discern, who live their life unconsciously and habitually, who has not developed their self-awareness. They will continue to live. They will continue to they will continue to chase you. Oh, what the heck, what you are doing in the evening? You should be taking a beer. Oh, the God sent you to me to have a beer in the morning. That is your gospel. So, no, you need not to say this, but internally you have to realize, oh, you are having a beer. I'm also having a very great beer. Now, can you come? No, I cannot come. I've taken 5 beers now. Just take it, throw them into the air. When does the sankalpa arise? Whenever the mind is unconscious, whenever the mind is living habitually, whenever the mind is living foolishly, when this sankalpa arises. When I'm very intentionally and deeply attached to identify with the body, sankalpa will arise along with the desire for the fear and the anxiety for the pleasure, etc., etc. So now question, where I can find the peace and happiness? It is inside me. I am of the nature of peace and happiness. I have to remind by discernment. I have to remind to the mind from the intellect. Intellect what? Tell this crazy mind, peace and happiness are located inside. How can we break the cycle of this sankalpa and vikalpa? Not only by listening, understanding the principles, contemplation and reflection, plus practice. Practice is also important in the beginning. After some time, once we reach to the higher level of discernment, we can maintain the discernment 24/7. I am a higher level of a seeker. your mind will naturally go to the practice. You have discerned, okay, I have discerned this imagined reality, and then your eyes will naturally will close down and you'll be absorbed into the meditation. Then only you will recognize how the meditation is so important. But we have to reach to that state where the meditation becomes natural to us. Until then, we have to do the practice deliberately, consciously. If I don't do the practice, I'm missing something. So now you see that the entire, you wake up in the morning, you saw something and saw something outside, past impression is inside, they both combine, they trigger the situation, you have a particular thought of imagined reality. Outside, I know this guy or this girl. Inside, I don't know. Past impression. Any past impression can trigger off. So we are learning. By the practice, I'm removing those past impressions. Mind, you wake up in the morning, empty mind, clear mind. Now you see the outer situation. Outer situation is an opportunity for you to evolve. It is not creating an imagined reality. It is an opportunity for you to evolve. So you are happy in all those situations now. You know how to tackle all these situations. So who is affected by the sankalpa? Who is living lack of awareness, foolishness, impulsive, instinctive? So you see that, when you take too much of drink, morning you have hangover. People without taking any drink, they have a hangover throughout the day. That is selfishness. That is what we say, foolishness. They cannot think beyond that beer, beyond that drink, beyond that sensuality. Their mind is so much limited. They have not evolved. You cannot do anything to them. Many people. So we have understood how the sankalpa arises, and true happiness is inside us. We have to be very clear. Is sankalpa always negative? No. It has positive, it has the negative imagined emotions. Both. But I have to recognize that still, whether it is positive or negative, pertaining in relationship to the world outside, it is imagined. Whether it is positive or negative. Positive will bind me deeper than the negative emotions. At least with the negative imagined reality, I want to get rid of it. But with the positive imagined reality, it binds me. It will create further impressions. So I have to be aware of both. So I have to ask the question, can one achieve the lasting happiness by fulfilling the desires created by the sankalpa? Desires created by the sankalpa means desires created by the imagined reality of pleasure and pain. Can I achieve lasting happiness? Answer is no. So I have to keep this in mind. I have to live into that state. So that is why I have to simply maintain my awareness. I'm walking on the on the roads. I have to be aware. I have to be aware. Other person is coming, so I'm naturally aware that I have to give the way. So that is simply a living in self-awareness. That is what the pragmatic approach is in life. So we have to develop a daily habit. In the beginning, we have to make an effort. I wake up in the morning and my mind says I'm tired. How the hell you are tired? You slept 10 hours, 8 hours, and you still feel tired? There is something psychological. It is an imagined negative reality. Let me do the practice. No, the practice, why should you do the practice? I don't feel like doing the practice because I'm tired. No, I have to do the practice because I'm tired.
So true.
So once we live into that state, I have to engage my mind into the self-inquiry. Otherwise, it will continue the foolishness in my life. I have to question. I have to question the blind belief by the mind that you have slept 8 hours and still you feel tired. How dare you say that? How many hours you need to become fresh? Can you sleep 24 hours? Answer is no. No person can sleep 24 hours. No person can work 24 hours. So you see, this is the power of discernment. So we are discerning. Why? How we are discerning? By self-inquiry. And out of this self-inquiry, we come to a conclusion. We realize, oh, the mind is playing the trick. I have to get over it. How I have to get rid of it? Anytime the mind says I'm tired, I will do the practice. And then see that your crazy mind will be so scared of saying that I'm tired. We have to reach to that state of awareness. If I don't reach to that state of awareness, it means I'm continue to live into the same state. I have to move ahead. So the practice is required, obviously, self-inquiry is required, and also the contemplation and discernment is required. Because we have been living with the sankalpa since our childhood, our parents have taught us the imagination. Look at this toy, which is a toy for father, but which is a reality for a child. Look at the plane. Look at this, it is flying. So our master further says it is very important to develop an imaginative faculty in the childhood so that I can start thinking. But my parents did not tell me now is the time to drop this imagination. Face the real. So it is a helper, it is a barrier. So now by discernment, I realize imagination here is a barrier. Imagination here is a helper. I have to come to your house to reach to that destination. I put the GPS and now imagination is working. Now it will take 20 minutes or it will take 1 hour. That imagination is okay, which is not supported by attachment and unexamined life. It's okay. So imagination is a helper, imagination is a barrier. So by the power of discernment, I understand here the imagination is a helper, here the imagination is a barrier. Then what happens? With that power of discernment and practice, I increase my self-awareness. I have a better and deeper understanding of my thoughts, feelings, and emotions. I recognize my conditioning, how the mind is conditioning me in different situations, relations. I have a greater emotional resilience. I get an ability to examine, oh, if I follow this path of emotion plus the thought, it will lead me to fear and anxiety and delusion. Let me drop it. Before the fear, anxiety, and delusion takes over, now you have noticed, and you break that cycle. I can tell you, you will be so happy once you break that cycle. Or you have broken that vicious cycle of the fear and the anxiety before it should have taken over you. That is the power of discernment. That is the power of meditation. That is the power of practice.
Mm.
Only if you have anxiety, then only you approach the doctor. If you are healthy, why to approach the doctor? So the doctor treats you after you have a problem, but you treat yourself before the problem takes over.
Mm.
Power of discernment and practice, and the principles of Eastern wisdom. Don't address the challenges that you have, what will happen? You have a persistent feeling of anxiety, fear, like in the morning that you have delusion. It will result into emotional suffering and distress. It's going to increase. Then it becomes difficulty maintaining your healthy relationship and communication with the world outside, with your body, with your mind. There will be a lack of inner peace and contentment. If you don't accept those challenges, you miss the opportunity of your personal growth and self discovery.
Mm.
So I have to look from all the sides. This is the entire process of discernment we have had today.
Is discernment something